All right, welcome again, everybody. Welcome back to Chute now. I don't know, this is a podcast where we just have random reason. Welcome, Chute Nation. Welcome, first-time listeners. You know, I know that you guys will enjoy this. Welcome to the Chute Nation, isn't it? Everybody that has been in the comments watching our videos, we really appreciate it. I'm Dunks. We have Ras, we have Suna, and we have Ella. Yeah? How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Not bad at all. Better in the December, you know. Good month.
Yeah.
That Ella one here, you know.
Yo, December money month, brother.
Yeah.
So before we continue, everybody, one of the members is missing tonight, Il King. You know, exam time, I have some things I'm have to deal with. So we sit out this episode. So we talk about tonight. We want to talk about the whole pandemic situation, and you know, it has been very revealing in terms of certain things that we didn't expect. So tonight's topic is what has the pandemic exposed for each person. Want to realize during the pandemic. Feel like Russ will start on, yeah.
No, not me. A joke. All right, let me see. For me, it exposed a lot. Personally, I realized I don't really need to dip on the road that much. I find out I actually enjoy my company. So that did one good exposure for me, you know. Not that I talk to myself people, but yeah. It not bad at all.
You talk to yourself, man.
Yeah. Not bad at all. Another thing it exposed for me is some things where them not really teach at school. For example, you know it, but until it actually happens, you don't really see it. So a lot of people don't really realize that the people that get the least amount of pay in a country are them really contribute the most towards a country and its development. So when you look, the pandemic really showcased that, because a lot of the jobs that were lost were mostly persons who, I don't know, top shot, I don't know, big high paying jobs that were lost. But when you look on the effect it have on Jamaica, especially, and other countries around the world, they realize that these little people really carry the burden and carry the economy and make things.
Carry the country itself.
Yeah, so, you know, that was a thing when we just start see it a bit more and make it more clear for you. So those are two of the main things that the pandemic really exposed for me. And it also exposed for me that a lot of these businesses that you see out there that I think are so successful are not really as successful as we think. And they're a month away from
crushing.
Yeah, and that was really surprising as it relates to the whole thing. Like, made it really shocked to hear some of these places that are closing down like so quickly. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think would that fall under they don't have risk management things or things in place to, you know?
Yeah, that's one part of it, but one of the biggest part of it is it just showcase, like, even globally, the amount of debt in the society. Yeah. Like, people just borrow a lot. That's the thing. People borrow a lot. And
a lot of rich people survive on debt management. Like, they don't really have live resources. They're just really good at managing debt.
Get on them something,
I think people get a misconception. Them say you don't really hold too much cash, but it don't really mean say you give away all of your money and live on debt. No. If you make the cash work for you and put it in a something where you can easily get back your cash when you need it, and I think that's where a lot of people fall short.
But to piggyback off what Ras was saying, for two things with the business as well, that was really surprising for me and how some of the companies decided to go about managing the situation, like companies that were still, as in the sales and so on decline a little bit, you know, but you're a healthcare facility, you're a food provider, you still want to lay off people even though, you know, you're still getting support, and even more because some of the places were closed down and closed down, you get their clients. So I was really disappointed in some of the, I don't know if I would use the word ethics, like their business ethics.
Yeah, how them treat employees.
Some of them very disappointing. And also in terms of what you were saying about the low level or low line workers being the backbone of the country, not only for the economy, but like for the running. Because if we notice now, really and truly who's supposed to get the money, because when the pandemic and stuff like that, or any kind of emergency happens, we're not relying on any CEOs. We want our police, we want our doctors, our nurses, or janitors, people who, you know, provide food or prepare food, stuff like that. These are the people in the society that really held it together in the pandemic. So show that they should be receiving far more than minimum wage and the type of pay that they're getting, because they're really and the backbone of, like, you know, the function.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. For one of my first things during the pandemic still is just how hard it is to get control over, well, to get people to align for a cause. So we want people to wear masks, we want people to social distance, and trust me, even though the instruction sounds like something pretty simple, basic school, like I used to do this when I did a basic school, hold hands and arm length apart and stuff like that. And trust me, are the most difficult thing I will talk about right across the board, because even people that we have as, you know, more intellectual and think their IQ high, they're not to wear the mask correctly.
And it go back to Ella point, you know, it show you say like even teachers supposed to get more pay, because if they can make kids a line up in a one straight line, and we can get adults to do it, you can imagine.
Right, yes.
So
that
point too, early out in the pandemic, I remember a lot of people were coming and talking about how they look like idiots in their mask and whatever. Like, common sense. If something that spreads your nose and your mouth, if you cover your nose and your mouth, you're supposed to be like just basic. And then I talk about how the surgical mask doesn't prevent this. Then wear it inside out. Then I said it prevents the surgeon from transmitting something to the patient. Turn it inside out then. You know? Turn it inside out. Like, just basic common sense was just, a lot of people don't have it.
Like basic hygiene too. You have wash hand.
Yeah, mask rough enough people, you know.
Yo,
and get that taste of them own medicine.
And that's true. Like, to be under one covering, put your nose in your mouth under something come like torture.
But the thing is, is I get used to thing, you know. Some people now say you have to get used to it after a while. Yeah,
we're talking about the lack of hygiene. So for them to put their nose and their mouth in the same space.
Same place. Problem.
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 All right. Suna, you did say your thing?
Well, from a general standpoint, as I said earlier in one of the episodes earlier, I think this year really highlights that 2020 to me wasn't the worst year. Ironically, I wasn't thinking it was the worst year. I even, looking back, I'm looking at is one of the quickest years I've seen in my life. This already 2021 soon come. And basically, I agree with what Ras said and everyone said that this year really, let's really sit back and reflect on what really matters, focus on really what needs to get done. And like for me, like me not being in social situations or getting to go out and so forth, that was really negatively impacting me because I'm a more balanced individual. So it didn't really affect me in terms of not going out to parties or not going out to social events or anything. Yes, I want to, but I'm going to come back again. So it's better to have a healthy life until then. So
Right.
And one more thing I did want to say too is that 2020 for me was, to me, it's like a breakthrough year. So like a lot of the norms that we have in a society get broken down to nothing. Like it shows, why the hell were we doing this? For example,
first place,
it was that. Like, why we wake up 8 o'clock, go work and come back 5, some of them stuff here. Like, and they show company them, you know, it don't make no sense. Make some of the people them work from home. It literally never made no sense. And 2020 just showcase that and just kill a lot of those norms.
Coming from, like, again, piggybacking on your point, I we realize that a lot of the structures that we hold so dear in society are just there because, you know, it worked. It comes from like when they used to have factory workers and the person literally has to be on the line to make the product. They have to be there. So they bring that forward into like places where you can sit around a computer anywhere and do some work. But also, we really don't have, what it showed me is that Jamaica doesn't really have any good online platforms for majority of the businesses. Like majority of the places you can go online and interact with them or get any information or things like that, which, you know, obviously we need to change. And also, not only for businesses, but people, certain people where you think say, okay, they're not so okay. Yeah. Especially like, you know, certain people had a certain type of job.
All is a hype.
Like it took them 1 month.
You know, like what I noticed going on, you know, is like when this whole thing started, this whole online learning and this and whatever, I think there was more of a push to do it. I kind of sense a little fizzle out, you know, like people don't really want to do it anymore. Like even like a lot of teachers, societies and so forth, I said they're not going to school even online, they not teach online and them things.
It's rough, man.
Reality is COVID not going now. So you you have to catch up this.
You have to adjust.
Yeah, that's true. And one of the biggest thing them for me still, like really I noticed was that as it relates to like a lot of influencers, because we always talk about influencers and we always talk about people who are run things online and do X, Y, and Z. I realize I know only part of them are actually influencers. Like, trust me, I see the live them where some of them are go up and because what happened is them can't go on a party and anything like that anymore. So it caused this push for everybody to, you know, use them Instagram live, then they try to follow Tory lanes and get, you know, some activity going in the pandemic. I mean, I tell you, some people sign in and I say, yo, this is a big artist and I some 30 people, 30, 25. I tell you,
and when you sign in, you just sign out, but you see 30 people.
Like, you don't even want to be the only one there. Like, you have to sign on some DJ where me think that they run a place, like, always a post clips of parties and stuff for them to play. I mean, I tell you, they might try the little online dance or whatever. When you sign into them IG, are 3 people there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So me did really shocked by that, and it was really
a rude awakening for them too. You know, maybe they thought they had more pull than that.
More support,
right.
There, you know.
Yeah, like a lot of them never have the pull, and I feel like that really expose a lot of them in terms of what will happen going forward. Like if people are really taking note and paying attention, some of them might lose like them value in terms of, you know, how much they use to charge for the X, Y, and Z. Like, brother, we know so you're not pull that crowd there. Like the pandemic really exposed that for you. You understand? So that was something that was really shocking for me.
And it beat up the pandemic beat a lot of the IG stores too. But what happened is that them have the IG store, but it's like 10 people used to buy. And then now pandemic happened and a lot of persons start take to Instagram to get things and, you know, get it transferred to them and so on. And to tell you the truth, a lot of the stores them fail with because the service and some of the stuff them get bombarded and but some of them don't really know how to gauge the business and then change how them used to do stuff to get the better, more customers or to sort that out. And that really beat them bad right now.
Yes.
I'm getting a lot more complaints now than what we used to get back in the day when it comes to art.
I agree with Russ, you know, because customer service in Jamaica before COVID wasn't good. So imagine giving customer service. Indeed. Yeah, worse no man, worse.
Yeah. The pandemic teach me something I need lotion. I don't need that.
Oh, you have to go.
Yo, as we put on that, I'm gonna go somewhere somebody spray me.
Topic for the episode. Feel like I topic.
No, as we put on somebody spray me, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Everyone we go, we get sprayed.
Do you think we're going to end up with a generation of people with just really aged hands? You know,
Yeah,
like
I think
how
something not
And
gonna
then
happen to we hand them.
extra old.
oh,
Yeah, me I expect some long term thing.
Or some
Yeah.
skin or something, yeah.
Me I
And
wait
then,
on it. Me I wait to see what happens.
you know the problem too? I feel like it got hard to readjust to what was normal. Like me even now watch shows and stuff now where people like me I watch old clips of like matches and stuff like that, and me I tell you, when me see fans in the crowd, the first thought is like then I remember say
social
COVID, like me I can remember say old clips, like stuff like that. So me know say personally it's going to be something that I will have to remember, you know? Because when people come too close to me now, I'm really uncomfortable. So it's gonna be a little stretch.
But yeah.
You know, on a personal note for me, the year was very like reaffirming. To kind of highlight that, you know, certain things I may do a right thing, and I have a pretty solid plan. So that was a good experience. It kind of like, you know, shows the confirmation that you were looking for.
Right.
Kind of that, yeah.
And that's the roughest part of the year for me, you know, because it's like I accomplished a lot this year. It did really good to me, but it roughly celebrate out there knowing that, you know, things kind of rough for a lot of person.
Yeah, the thing is, you know what I was looking at, like over the weekend, I said the whole heap of graduates, them a post up like ready with them bachelors and thing, but where are the jobs? Which when them now gonna know jobs, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess them just have to celebrate it as it come, yeah, man.
Like me.
Yeah, you have to just live in a moment. They
Yeah,
can't
you
bother
graduate, so
that,
celebrate that.
Yeah.
The siblings. I was talking about siblings.
I've been having that same struggle between, like, you know, celebrating things in the middle of a pandemic, like based on what's going on in the world, should I really
feel guilty?
I feel guilty.
I think you have to just do everything in moderation still. I mean, you celebrate your victories, but you know, you still be mindful of what's going on around you. But I feel like if you celebrate like life waits on nobody, you understand?
Yeah.
When you have your moment, you take your moment and you celebrate it. You understand? You have one bunch of people who are still out there at a party and stuff like that. The one whole thing, well, you know, the situation is very real. And we are talking about in the place where it still arises, them a party same way. So you still have to just celebrate the thing as it comes, yeah?
Not by going to parties, you know, guys.
No. Not by going to parties.
Some countries are them partying still. I think South Korea, them have the whole thing under control, so them have a big concert and thing.
Yeah. And you know, the pandemic changed. I think it changed how a lot of people look at enjoying themselves in Jamaica. Because what I realize a lot of people do nowadays is more so road trips and going somewhere where you can just have a drink with friends and chill out rather than just saving up their money if you go party. I think them start have more things to do now because the pandemic, them get to learn other things about the country.
Right, that's true. Yeah. That's true. All right, so here what?
Real quick, I'm not an economist, but I think they kind of showed me how robust our economy is, because even now in the Christmas season, it don't look any scantier than usual. Like the people still out buying stuff.
People have their money, man.
Yeah,
money is still hit.
Circulate, yeah.
All right, so we're definitely gonna have to have a part 2 because we know that we probably miss over a whole heap of stuff. But for this episode, we'd like everybody to comment, you know, what has the pandemic exposed for you guys. Definitely just try to be a part of the discussion. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So thanks for watching and good night.